Hey there, RelaxShacks.com viewers. My name is Neil, and this is the 110-ish square foot tiny cabin I built in my backyard. It was designed by none other than the one and only, the great Deek. His transforming A-frame getaway cabin has become something of an icon. You see lots of examples of it. But I'm a big fan of this here half A-frame design of his. How big? About 5'7", 250 pounds, but that's beside the point. The thing is, I haven't seen a single other full build of this online anywhere. It may be the first of its kind. What I do know is I'm going to give you a look around, tell you what I like so much about it, and talk about some of the changes I made to make it my own. Oh, and if you don't already know the origin story of this here cabin, here's the quick version. We had a barn fire. The good news is we had insurance. So if you guys showed up and put together a new barn for us in just one day, and I saw that and I said to myself, oh, hell, I could do that. And after 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days of planning, scavenging materials, and framing the walls in my garage, I built this little A-frame cabin. Check out my other videos for more on that. Come. The biggest change I made to the design was this bump out here on the side. I put it to accommodate a wood-burning stove that I'm going to install in the inside of it, and also to create a little more headroom. The sloped roof really didn't leave me a lot of space to move around. There is an alteration of the design in the plans that you can get from RelaxShacks.com that has sort of a footwall, but I wanted to maintain this steep slope all the way up. That's really what appealed to me. So this bump out was sort of the compromise. The wheels are one of the things people are always asking me about. They're like, oh, is it a trailer? Is it a tiny home on wheels? Well, not really. The purpose of the wheels really serves, well, there's really two purposes to the wheels. Because I built the whole thing in pieces, prefabbing the parts in my garage, they served as a way to roll it out here. The second reason is that being on wheels makes it a non-permanent structure, which means I didn't need a building permit in my area. That, in addition to the fact that it's only 110 square feet. Anything under 200 square feet in my area doesn't need a permit also. So it's kind of a double insurance policy against that. I'll eventually cover up the wheels. You won't be able to see them. I'll put a skirt on there, or maybe a deck out front. Another alteration I made was I used these larger 2x12 boards to frame up the floor. They provide a little more depth, and I could build some storage compartments into the floor. I'm also going to put an overhang over the door. So it's still a work in progress. Here's those storage compartments I was telling you about. You flip these up, and you can see that gives us a lot more storage space on the inside. When I first bought the plans, one of the things I realized was that the door was kind of a unusual size, a little bit thinner than usual. So I thought, well, I guess I got to build a door. So I got on YouTube, looked at a few videos of other people building a door, and I also figured I needed a window to let a little more light in, and so I built my own door. This is made from Home Depot lumber, if you can believe that. I'm pretty proud of it. So the whole thing's actually made to be dismantled. I prefabbed all the walls in my garage. So you can see here, the walls are all bolted together. That's so it can be taken apart, loaded on a trailer, and moved to some remote location. You can see how the walls are bolted to the floor. Oh, and there's the book Deek sent. Thanks, Deek. I also added this little escape hatch. It just kind of seemed like we needed another way in and out, and it also doubles as the service hatch for the compost toilet I'm going to build. I didn't want to carry that through the main room. Here we are back inside. It's about 30 degrees warmer out. All the snow is melted, and that's springtime in northern Illinois. You gotta love it. So what do I like so much about this half A-frame design Deek calls the Dart? Some people say it's not a practical use of space, but I don't really know that it's any better or worse than an average A-frame. With its 3 vertical walls, I think there's actually more useful space in here. I'm not bumping my head on 2 sloped walls coming at me from both sides. So there's that. And in my view, both form and function are important considerations. Creativity and style, they enrich life, and this cabin definitely has got some style. It's not quite like anything I've seen before. In my opinion, Deek's design is truly a unique take on the traditional A-frame. His decision to pair up 2 right triangles, I think, is inspired. It's a visually striking artist's vision, and I can appreciate that. On the inside here, it has 3 distinct spaces that make it feel bigger than it actually is. There's a 8x8 main room where I'm sitting here. There's a 4x4 closet slash bathroom, and there's a sleeping loft upstairs. And one of the nice things about the design is you could easily extend this main room to be 12x8 or 16x8 just by adding a few ceiling joists and extending the floor. In fact, if I were to build it again, I would probably do that. If you've seen my other videos over on my channel, it's called Big Guy in a Tiny House, you'll know that I think everyone should have a DIY project going on the side. It just makes life better. Or it gives you a challenge within your control instead of getting all worked up over all the stuff out there. For example, when I was framing the 4x4 closet, I got to the point where I realized there were no measurements for one of the sides, and I was like, Deek, what's up with that? And but it really wasn't that big of a problem. It actually challenged me to reach back to high school geometry, pull out the Pythagorean theorem, and got the job done. Overcoming little challenges like that, it's a reminder you can take whatever life throws at you. So if you want to see how the interior of this cabin takes shape, go check out my channel. Again, Big Guy in a Tiny House. You'll be glad you did. But hey, what do I know? I am just a big guy sitting here in a tiny house.